This awesome collection from Thundercats and Super 7 is really starting to take shape, especially now as we're seeing secondary characters and allies, such as this awesome guy right here, the Snowman of Hook Mountain. This figure was produced back in the 80s, but this is absolutely a huge upgrade in comparison to what we had when we were kids from the LJN toy line. With the standards of what we expect today with the Ultimates figures, Super 7 has really delivered on this particular wave, especially this character here. Just to give you guys a sense of scale, this guy is probably about 9.5 inches tall, and later on in the video I'll go ahead and show you guys a comparison in size to other characters, or if you haven't seen other photography that I've posted already that shows the difference in size. But the Snowman is a larger character. At first he is a challenge. He's considered a threat to Lionel when they first meet, but then they soon become friends when he realizes that Lionel is a good guy and he means well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have in the box. So the figure, pretty much as these standard Thundercats Ultimates go, they all include 3 pairs of interchangeable hands. So the hands are as follows. You have these gesturing type of hands. This is one of the types of hands. The other one I have right now holding his helmet there. There's 2 pairs of those. There's 2 pairs of closed fists hands, a right and a left. And then we have the holding hands, which are for gripping the spear or the lance. And then as far as other accessories go, I've got him holding the spear, which is made of a clear plastic, which is supposed to resemble as if it's made of ice. We've got the ice shield, which has a handle, and just to demonstrate here the way he can hold the handle is you basically pop this in here. Actually, just like with Monkeyin, these fingers are very hard. It almost feels like they're rigid, hard plastic. But I assure you, if you put them in boiling water, they will soften, and you can just place the hand holding the handle, and it'll fall in perfect place. So there's no reason for breakage or for you to, bust a nail or something forcing this thing in. It works. I just haven't done it yet to mine. He's got the lance that's also made of a clear plastic, supposed to resemble ice. And then, of course, he has his helmet. The helmet fits perfectly on top of the head. It's hollowed out, unlike the solicitation photos that showed a different expression, eyes on the inside. At the last minute, they decided to just make it a hollowed out, helmet. And I'm glad they took that decision, because then you could do what I did, where you could pose him holding the helmet. Whereas if it would have had, a different alternate pair of eyes inside, it would have looked like he's holding a decapitated snowman's head rather than just a helmet. So just to show you, it's a very thick plastic. You can see all the edges here. It's very thick, very hard plastic, and painted in a metallic silver. It's got a nice black metallic sheen here, and the holes where his eyes can peer right through. So the helmet fits perfectly over the head, like so. And as you can see, you can still see his eyes through the openings on the helmet. And it's awesome because not only do you see the eyes, but you can see like his eyebrows and stuff like that. So, it was done very well in the sense that the openings are large enough that they show, more of that fluid character underneath the helmet. So as far as articulation, we're going to break that down. For a big beefy guy like this, we have plenty of articulation. And we'll start off with the head. So with the head, we have, it's on a ball joint, like all other Ultimates figures are. So you've got slight angular movements left and right. You can rotate do full exorcist, rotate. He could slightly look down, slightly look up. I would say not really, because the back of this the fur and the hood that he wears, it hits the back of the head sculpt, so it doesn't allow it to go any further back. So he's not going to be looking up a lot. He's going to be looking down a little bit more. You can see it right here. Slide up, slide down, and then the regular angular movements and lateral movements. Then, as far as the arms are concerned, the shoulder pads are not attached to the shoulders, and they're made of a very pliable rubber, so it allows a lot of give on the arms. So you could bring the arms up this high, and I think, let's see, yeah, you could get away with, like, if he's going to throw a speeder, where he could kind of bring his arm up this high. Because, again, the fur piece has a slit here, and it's not attached to the shoulder permanently, so it allows a lot more give and a lot more range of motion on the arms. There is no bicep cut because of the nature of the garb that he's wearing. It wasn't something that they could do, but they gave us a swivel and a hinge joint at the elbow. We've got the same at the hands, and then when we come to the torso here, we have, I wouldn't exactly call it an ab crunch, but there is a little bit of play there. I mean, it's hidden, but you're going to get more play backwards than forwards. He actually does not hunch forward at all. He hunches backwards. So it's almost like it's a reverse ab crunch. He's crunching. He's making the movement that you would normally see in the front. He's doing it in the back. And again, that's probably because of the folds and the nature of the tunic, or whatever you would call it. Then he's got a swivel joint at the waist. And then now as we go to the legs, in the legs we got these interesting joints that you can see here in the crotch. It's like a ball hinge joint that attaches to the top of the crotch piece. And what it allows a full rotation on the top of the thighs. Then you've got the hinge, which allows this far up he can kick. Again, because of the tunic, even though it has a slit cut here, that's about as high as he's going to kick. Now, if you go to kick laterally to the side, you could get a little more give on the leg, but that's about it. As we go into the knees, it's kind of funky territory because it's a little weird. We have a hinge swivel joint here. It's a ball hinge and swivel joint. And, you know, if you were to, like, technically bend his leg, this is how much it bends. And mainly because the fur on the boots goes up so high. They're like high-rise fur boots. So the sculpt back here hinders the range of motion. And unfortunately, there's nothing that can be done about that unless you wanted to, like, cut this up, and then that will destroy the sculpt and just the overall figure. So you got to kind of deal with just the fact that he's not meant to, punt kick or throw karate kicks and stuff, but he can straddle a battle cat or straddle a snow meow. That's how wide his legs open. If you do this, you can kind of sit him down. He's a big hunk of plastic. I want to say they had said he's about like 2 pounds. So there you go. So he's definitely ready to mount Snow Meow. And last but not least is the ankle joints. So on the ankle joints, we have a ball joint that gives us a hinge. And it also gives us a slight swivel, not a full swivel. It kind of almost has like an angular movement this way, which makes sense because like if you want to spread his legs, you want to make sure his feet are flush on the ground. That's what allows you to do that. So that about breaks it down for the articulation. In terms of sculpt, I think the folks at Super 7, design-wise and engineering-wise, they've done an amazing job to capture the essence and look of the Snowman of Hook Mountain. You know, the sculpt details on the fur and the paint apps that have been applied, they really bring this character to life. And yes, he's more on the lines of the flat colors because this is based on animation. This is not based on, this is not supposed to be hyper real. So I know I've seen comments of people saying, well, why don't the weapons or, you know, other things have more detail? Well, that's the reason. This is meant to look animated. If you look at any toy line that's ever done an animated property, the colors tend to be more muted or more plain. Not a lot of transition in colors, not a lot of airbrushing or dry brushing or anything like that. Nonetheless, we do get some airbrushing on the top fur here, on the mantle, and a little bit is visible on the fur boots. The head sculpt is awesome. It looks just like the Snowman of Hook Mountain. The only thing I would have done is included an alternate head portrait of when he first encounters Lionel as a threat and have a more menacing look about him. Here he looks very humble. He looks like he's an ally to the Thundercats. Of course, when you put the helmet on, that makes him look a little bit more intimidating and scary. But overall, it looks like he's just a big hunk of, you know, cuddly teddy bear in winter gear. Which we all know that's what Snowman is. He's just an awesome guy helping the Thundercats to save Third Earth from the mutants and all the evil doings. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This figure is awesome. It's an incredible addition to the Thundercats Ultimates line. This line is finally starting to take shape. Wave 2 is on the water, as it states on the Super 7 website with the pre-order updates. And this wave should be shipping out to customers very soon. I would say possibly this month in February, if not early March. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's an awesome time to be a Thundercats fan, and I'm sure you agree. Now adding the Snowman of Hook Mountain to the ranks is really beefing up this toy collection and really putting into perspective the range and how big and how deep cut this toy line could really go. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the toy house.